Last year, in this exact period, it was December of 2024. I believe it was in one of my lowest points in life. In 2023, the end of 2023, I graduated in physical therapy and I started to work in January of 2024 and started to work a part-time job inside a retirement home because my idea was to work a part-time job in order to dedicate as much as I possibly can to my judo training and my sport before starting to work full-time and leave all my passion, let's say, my sport aside in order to focus 100% on my career. So I did it for a while, but then some financial problems start to kick in, and I needed to start working full time as a physical therapist. And after I started working full time as a physical therapist, and I was still able to train, okay, I was still able to, let's say, be fairly engaged into my pursuit of becoming a better athlete and a better judoka. Still, I felt like there was something wrong with that. At a certain point, I remember exactly, it hit me like a truck in September of 2024. I remember I was working in this retirement home as a physical therapist, and I was thinking, oh shit, do I really want to do all of this for the rest of my life? Do I really want to be a physical therapist? I fucking hate this job. I don't enjoy staying with all of these elders who shit themselves and start to shout at me all of kind of insults because it's not their fault. They have heavy degenerative condition for their brains, so I believe it's not their fault. But you, I mean, it's not fun to stay 8 to 7 hours with some people that shit themselves. So you always smell shit and piss when you're working, and you hear all of these insults that will come to you. Doing that for 30 to 40 hours a week, it's pretty heavy, okay? And so I started to wonder, oh shit, maybe I made the wrong choice, maybe I did it wrong. And so what I did was some mental gymnastics that made me realize, oh fuck, I'm wasting time by pursuing this judo thing, by pursuing this passion that wouldn't lead me anywhere because I wanted to achieve big results, but the likelihood of me going professional at 23, 24 years old in judo, it's very, very low, nearly too impossible, okay? Usually, at least in Italy, people become pro at 18, 17, something like that, because they have people that select them before and put them inside the clubs that pay people to be professional athletes. And honestly, I'm not that good, and I don't really have chance to become a professional. I want to be, let's say, at least gain a medal in the nationals, but the chance of me going pro was very, very low. And so I started thinking, man, maybe I'm wasting time, maybe I'm doing all of this bullshit. Okay, I should quit everything that I'm doing and focus 100% on my career. So I left my job in the retirement home and I started to send CVs to private clinics because I said, oh, I thought, oh, well, maybe if I'm working in a private clinic, maybe I'm working in a different setting, I would enjoy this more. And so I basically left my job in the retirement home. I sent a lot of CVs and received a response only after 3 months of sending all of these CVs. And I started to working in this private clinic, but the problem was that the kind of let's say shifts that I needed to do didn't allow me to also doing judo. And to be fair, I tried to find a way to, how can I say, I tried to find a way to obligate myself to miss judo training because of my job, because I wanted to see if I could live without my sport. And so I started to working full time in this clinic. I started to also working in a retirement home because I didn't left it altogether. I was working in the morning in this retirement home, and I was working in the evening uh, in this private clinic. So I was doing like 8 to 11 a.m. in the retirement home, and then 12 p.m. to 8 p.m. I was working in this private clinic. So I was doing 11 to 12 hours a day of work. So I started to dedicate all myself to my job in order to become a good physical therapist, in order to gain as much money as I possibly could, to see if I could enjoy this kind of lifestyle. What I realized is that life without judo, life without my passion was fucking worthless. I really felt like my life had no meaning at all if I didn't have judo in my life. I didn't have a passion or something out there. So I asked to my bosses if I could at least 2 to 3 times a week get out of the clinic in order to keep going, keep training. And honestly, I didn't believe it was possible at the time, but it happened. It happened that they give me 2 days a week in which I can finish before 8 p.m. So I go to my dojo and I can still train. I still work around 8 to 9 hours a day, and at the end of the day, I'm able to go and train in my sport. And honestly, I feel like I'm much more happier. I'm much more stable. I have a better, how can I say? I have a better relationship with myself, a better relationship with my job, and I'm much more happier than I was a year ago. What did I realize in all that? Why am I telling you this story? Maybe your story is different than mine. Maybe you have a different concerns than mine, but I want you to share what helped me to going through this quarter life crisis. Let's say an example of quarter life crisis. First of all, my advice would be don't look for in your job, don't look in your career, in your job, everything that you want out of life, because a job or career cannot give you everything that you might need. You also need to have some relationships. You need to cultivate at least a set of friendships that are out of your job, that are out of your career. You need to have a set of interests, of passions that are out of your job, out of your career. Because your job, your career alone cannot give you everything that you might need. This is what I struggle to understand. I hoped that I can have that just one thing that could be judo, that could be my job, that could be whatever other thing that can give me everything that I need. But sometimes a job might sometimes a job is just a job, okay? Sometimes a job will just give you some money to do whatever you want. Sometimes it can give you some satisfaction, but you might not have your purpose. The purpose of your life could not be in your job. Okay? Sometimes your passion cannot give you money. So it's sad to say, because everyone is saying follow your passion, follow what you like and you enjoy, and you will find your career. It's not really like that, because jobs and career rely to what the market needs, rely on what the companies needs, what are skill. People don't give a shit about my judo background, okay? Or at least not that much people give a shit about my judo background, what I can teach about judo. You have to think about what people want, and then if you give what people want, they will give you money. But you cannot just follow your passion and you will gain money. As much as you cannot just follow money and you will find your passion, okay? Sometimes a job is just a job, and you need to find what fires you up, what makes life worth living out of your job. And I can tell you on personal experience, I've improved the relationship that I have with my job by just having something good out of it. Okay, I know that when I can get out of my job, I can go training and I will have fun. I know that I can go training and competing and keep pursuing what I believe is important to me. And this, and having a job helped me to sustain that dream, helped me to sustain that passion. So I am much more grateful to the job that I have, because it serves the purpose of driving me to doing the things that actually fire me up. I enjoy my job more by doing that. Do you get what I mean? And also, another thing that I would like to tell you also from that, which is you cannot extract everything from just your job, you cannot extract everything from just your passion, is don't stay stuck. Because what people in quarter life crises feel is they feel like they are lost, they don't know where to go. I felt like that. I felt like I was at a crossroad and I don't know which road to take. What I can tell you, in order to make your desperation go away, you need to take a choice. You need to take a choice and take a road and following it. I saw that on myself, on personal experience, and I saw that from also there are some studies that cite that, which is about self-determination theory. Self-determination theory told that if you want to have purpose, if you want to feel like you have direction in your life, you need to take choices. Taking choices means, okay, I will try to go into this private clinic and I will do that for 4 months and see what happens. I will stop going to do my sport and see what happens. I will start to change completely my job and try this new thing and see what happens. Because the reality is, you will gain much more information by trying new stuff and see what happens instead of figuring out all beforehand. This is another mistake that I made. I wanted to have it all figured out beforehand and not exploring step by step. And make choices. You can reply to me, because that's what I would reply to someone telling me that 1 year ago, and that would be, oh, which choice is the right choice? There is no fucking right choice. You will find out you will find out along the way if that's the right choice or not. But if you don't take it, you will not gain any information. So you need to go along with your choice and learn to tolerate uncertainty. This is crucial. You need to learn to tolerate uncertainty. Because if you don't learn to tolerate uncertainty, you won't be able to move forward in a direction. What I was doing, what I usually do, is I give myself a time frame, which is 4 to 6 months. I usually do that. I advise you to do that in a pretty big time frame. So take 6 months, 1 year, something like that, and say, okay, let's try this thing for 4 months, 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, and see what happens. Let's see if I like it. And once you have tried the stuff, you can decide, okay, do I want to keep going with that, or I want to try something else? And it helped me with my career. I'm now pretty sad. I don't know if I want to be a physical therapist for all my life. Okay, I'm not, by saying that I've solved my quarter life crisis, I'm not saying that I've solved all of my answers. I'm not saying that I have all the answers right now. What I say by the title of this video, which is how I solved my quarter life crisis, is that right now I'm not as desperate. I'm not desperate in this moment. Right now my mind is more clear, and I have a much more confidence in my ability to move forward and figure out things as they unfold during this time. So I know it's hard what you're passing right now. I know it's very difficult and you feel very desperate. I remember coming back from my work, from my job. The only thing that I was able to do, my mental health was so bad that I was able to just lay down on the floor and look at the ceiling. That was the only thing that I was able to do, because I genuinely had no idea what the fuck to do with my life. And the only thing that you can actually do is look at the most immediate stuff that you can fix and go in that direction. Think about the next thing that you can try, and try that for 3 to 6 months. Take a direction, start following it. Then you may realize that it's the wrong direction. Cool, you can just change and do it all over again. It worked for me. It's evidence-based. Evidence-based. I looked at all this stuff and trying to solve my problem. And if you start taking decisions, if you start to take directions in just one point for a certain period of time, you may realize a lot of stuff about yourself. You may realize a lot of stuff about what you like and you don't like. And you will increase your confidence in moving forward in life. But if you stay stuck, if you don't try to move forward, you will remain there and you won't have any progress. So start to pick a decision and follow that for a long enough period of time. And yeah, that's it. Hope that this was useful. It was a rant. I didn't really scripted that video. It's just random rants from my head. But I hope that it could be relatable or useful for someone going in the same, having the same problem that I had a year ago. You can make it. Aim upward, as always.